people, and the electorate cannot able to vote. They are in fear. Now, when you go to something like the West, which is the Yoruba side, some of them say they don't want to vote because they need Eldudua, and they try to create disorganize or inform people not to vote. So why are we not trying to work to make our place to work? Is it when you divided the house finish, you think your house will work? Our problem is in our hand, not even Nigeria. Nigeria is not a human being. We are the Nigeria, we are the human beings. We should strive to work, not to only condemning. So I rest my case. If you have any other thing to say, others to take mic and go on. So that is what I want to say.
And you see, lastly, you are saying the same thing. And you are just saying, I should understand Nigerian politics before I talk about it. I've understood that's the same thing. The problems you have explained now, those are the factors that make people not come. There are factors that, for example, what you have just explained about the Southeast, about the North, those are the factors of insecurity, which I've highlighted already in my opening speech. And I've said there is insecurity. People cannot come out to vote. People have no money. The money is missing. The 200 naira notes are missing in some places. People are complaining. As I speak right now in my office where I am, I can see opinion poll from the Nigerian election on News Central television. All Nigerian televisions are making this forecast that the voter apathy could affect the elections. So anybody who has gone to school like you and me, we can't fail to discuss it. We have to discuss it. What is this? What is the use of having 93.4 million wasted money to register them? Then they don't vote.
Doc, I have a question.
They don't vote. Mr. Let's come back.
Yes,
Mr.
I have a
Chile,
question.
Yes, who is that?
It's me. It's your co-host. I'd like to ask our guest a question there. He has shared some of the factors that might contribute to voter apathy in this year's election. And looking at the demographic that we've been given by the Nigerian Electoral Commission, voters between the age of 18 to 34 years account for about 39.7%. And those between 35 to 49 years account for 35.1%. So we see the young people there, quite a huge number at this time. And there are issues that perhaps have directly affected them, like the failing education system. We saw how long the strike on the universities went, and we saw the Twitter ban. We saw the crackdown at the youth-led anti-police brutality protest in 2020. We've seen the ballooning unemployment, the Naira scarcity, and other issues. Do you think that perhaps this, how do you think some of these issues will affect this voter demographic Republican?
Okay, the co-host, it is Ubuntu. I don't understand. I don't know if I get it wrong. Sorry if I don't get it wrong.
Go ahead.
Okay, so on your own question about the scarcity of the money, Naira, and other issues like police brutality. Coming to police brutality, I think that one is not a topic now because they have been treated long before now. The current one is about the scarcity, the money scarcity, and what is happening in the southeast concerning about the killings and all those things that are going on, burning of politicians' cars and people's innocent people properties. That is where the problem, most of this problem we are talking about election is facing mostly in the southeast. I must be honestly with you. Coming to money scarcity about the Naira, that is a very serious issue, which I don't know what our government is doing in order to make sure that there is a circulation of money in the public. So this is a good factor, and this will affect the voters, because many of them are angry, and in another hand, this is the time we have to rise up to make a best choice, because if you don't vote, the problem's still there. But the best thing is for us to find a better person who are going to lead us and bring a better change. So we must encourage everyone to go and vote, because through the voting we'll be able to give our authority to whoever that we think that is better. But if we do not vote and we sit down, it will not solve the problem. The problem will still getting worse, because this is the only time we have the time to tell them we are the people who has the power. Now, but coming to this scarcity of thing, I don't know, because many of them are blaming each other. It is this one that causes the, but I only know that Nigeria CBN, which is the Central Bank of Nigeria, is a monopoly organization. They have their own right. So government, before government will read into their policy, they must go to court and challenge it, which they have done. So we should, that is why I say we should understand the structures. And I don't know what the central bank or central bank, CBN governor is trying to do, because he's frustrating people. Not only everyone, not even both people in overseas, both people in Nigeria. Everybody's frustrated about this currency issue. And even though they want to do it, this is not the time. This is not the time. So this is a really factor. So it's really disturbing. So I always try to tell people, don't shy away from voting. This is the time we have to rise up, come in a large number to say this people or this person is the person who can bring that change we want. I know change cannot come once. It's gradually processed.
Okay.
It's gradually processed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Republican, next time write comments when you know that you are also writing to human beings who can take Kenyan. And therefore, comment you have written here on the chat does not reflect what to talk about in Nigeria, talk about Kenya. So who are you? Are you an African, or you have somebody from planet Venus? Africa belongs to all of us. I thought in fact, I gave you the opportunity to speak on my platform, thinking that you are worth salt, but you are not worth salt. Therefore, my brother, you can go and look for a platform somewhere else where you can spread your hate. I'm not a Kenyan, I'm a Ugandan. And for you to drag the Kenyan government into this affair when I'm not a Kenyan is very sad for you. But because I'm very democratic and older than you, in a sense, and academically very well organized than you, I'll leave you on the platform. Thank you. Otherwise, I would have knocked you off. Mr. Mr. Yongi, please take the microphone, and then Mr. Manzi. After Manzi, Iko. Thank you. You better remove your comment that you have written on my chat. It is not very pleasing at all, please. Mr. Yongi.
Please, I have a question for Republic.
Dr. Matanga.
Kile, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir. As you prepare yourself. If you people are not ready, go and go.
I'm ready. I'm ready. This guy is talking about all he's talking here is that Southeast is destroying election. Southeast sit at home is destroying election. Why is he not talking about Boko Haram destroying election in the north? Have we forgotten about Boko Haram? Have Boko have
My brother, I have said it. I have said it. So if maybe you are not listening, I mentioned all those factors.
you didn't your point here is not valid. You didn't make any point. Where have you heard Malaysia talking about one Malaysia, one China? The whole China is talking about one China. They are talking about one China, and they are doing all this mighty work they are doing in the whole world. Which country of the world is talking about one country, one country? Which country? You mentioned China, you mentioned Malaysia. Where have you seen it? Google about Nigeria. All that Nigeria is talking about is one Nigeria. Let's keep one Nigeria moving. Why must they remind you that we are one if you are one? You talk about Biafra, Igbo nation, Igbo that, Igbo. Oh my God. Igbo nation. What is Igbo nation?
Okay, thank
Biafra is what we know. And Biafra
you
is
very
this.
much, Chine. Let's move. Chine, thank you very much. Let's move to Manzi. Manzi, do you have something to say? Are you ready? Or Yongi? Yongi? Any of you who is ready?
Good morning. Good
Okay,
morning.
thank you.
Okay,
Morning,
thank
sir.
you for the opportunity to speak. Okay, I currently live in Lagos, Nigeria, and this movement building up to the election, it has been very dicey because we really don't know the game plan. Because normally we expect cash to be flowing, but they decided to make some policies. And now we even buy money. Now, if I want to withdraw 5,000 naira from my account, I have to pay 1,000 naira. So I'm getting just 4,000 naira for my hard-earned money. I think there is something going on that we don't really know, because I don't know if APC is trying to shoot themselves in the foot. Because really, if a government wants to be re-elected, they have to bring good policies and, But going back to the topic, that why do people not really go out to vote? Most of our parents will call us this election and tell us we should not go out. Most parents don't, most people, if you go to families and you want, especially Yoruba families, I don't know about other tribes, but I know about Yoruba people that most parents will advise their kids that anything can happen. And truly anything can happen at the polling units. It happens every time. There's no security. There's no security for the voters. Everybody know. Everybody know that you can be voting and anything can happen at any time. Some people can come and steal the ballot box. It happens every election. Some people can come and start shooting. Some people can, there are different things that happen during election. People go missing.
So you are saying in Lagos, where you are, there is no money. Your money has been restricted on how much you can draw from the bank.
Yes. Even if you go to the bank, no matter the millions you have, they'll tell you, young and old, fat and slim, everybody's going to get 10,000 naira today.
So it
if
means,
you want to do anything,
is that not part of gerrymandering of an election?
Okay, come again, sir.
Is that not part of the reasons why voter apathy is going to be high?
Yes, because people are not motivated. Because some people don't even have money for transportation to go to their polling unit. Because some people have moved away from where they were before, and they have to go there, they have to vote. For instance, if I have to vote, I have to go to my former neighborhood, because that's where they can accredit me.
What is the distance, if you can inform us who are on the platform now? Since
okay, I don't know.
In Lagos, what is the distance
I don't know.
between?
If I have to drive there, maybe it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes to get there.
15 minutes. The polling station under your house is 15 minutes away.
Yes, sir.
Is there fuel in the petrol stations?
Fuel is scarce. Fuel is so scarce now that different filling stations are selling it for different prices.
People have hoarded the fuel.
Yes, different petrol stations are selling it for different prices. So you have to call your friends and ask, where is fuel cheaper? Then they will tell you. And when you go to the place that is cheaper, the queue is so much, and you have to queue for hours to get petroleum.
So if you are to queue, let me ask you, because you are on the ground, brother. Don't think we are. I think we are learning a lot from you. If you
Yes,
are to go to the polling station, first one problem that can affect you not to go, you don't have you have 10,000 naira, which must buy food if you have 3 children, 5 children, and a home.
It's not even enough to buy food.
Money for petrol.
Yes, sir.
You must have. You must walk to your polling station. If you really, if you are not a real patriot of
you won't.
Country of Nigeria, you'll sit at home. You are discouraged, isn't it?
Yes, you are. Yeah. And there are a lot of people that don't even believe that any of the candidates can effect any real changes, any of the 3 front runners. And I'm one of those people. I don't believe that any of these 3 front runners can effect any significant change on the life of the people. And I don't believe any politician for that matter. Because if you want a better country, it has to be the works of your hands. You have to go to your homes and your families. You have to start from the families. Because these people who are doing everything they are doing in Nigeria, they are product of a family.
Okay.
They are all product of families.
Thank
so if
you
Nigerian
very
families,
much.
All right, sir.
No, you are giving us, stay on the line, don't go away. We might
all right,
come back to you to give us the update.
All right, sir.
So far, have the ballot papers started arriving? Do you see any movement of ballot papers on the ground?
No. I've not seen any movement of ballot papers, but I'm sure that probably things like that are going on. I live very close to the highway, so but what I know is that people are getting ready for the election. People are buying. Anytime election is coming around, people always sense that there could be violence, and people stock their house with food. People buy fuel in their generators. People make sure that all their kids are around them. Because people
so the kids have been brought out of school there too.
Yes, sir. Everybody will make sure that their kids and their family are around them where they can see them. And if there is any father that has power, that is strong, he wouldn't allow his kids to go to vote. And it's rich.
Okay.
His kids will not go to vote. They won't.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Yongi.
Yes, sir.
To be very honest, in 2018, the first election was cancelled at 5 a.m. in the morning. I was there. Well, our delegation had gone. Our journalists were there. We had paid hotel room. You remember the journalists that the election that was cancelled?
Yes, sir.
At last hour. Nobody even compensated some of us who had lost money, who had traveled all the way from London and other parts to go and witness elections. You are booked a hotel for 10 days, and the booking company cannot return your money. They tell you to sleep. How do you sleep when there is no activity? You don't know when the next election will be held. And the chairperson of the Electoral Commission went to the television, to radio, television, said this election has been cancelled. 5 a.m. in the morning. So that's why I brought this topic today. We might be here, but we might not have even an election maybe tomorrow. The gentleman could come and say, no, because of this and that, I've cancelled. Because they have cancelled it before. At 5 a.m., imagine people were already on the queue.
And they are things.
They are waiting for 6 o'clock for the ballot polling station to open to cast their vote. Oh.
You know, in Nigeria, there are certain categories of people that vote. And the most population of people that vote are the uneducated, illiterate, and then people that are not well-read, people that are just curious about the money that's going to be paid at the polling booth. People who really care about maybe the 5,000 naira stipend or 10,000, those are the higher population of people who go to vote. Because there are violences that build up to elections. Every election that happens in Nigeria, there are things that happen.
Where you are. Have you not
seen
any violence?
Yes, there have been protests for naira scarcity in different cities in Nigeria. There have been violent protests where people have died.
Oh.
Yes, they have. There have been protests in Lagos, in different parts of Lagos. There have been protests in Benin. There have been protests in the north. No, not in the north, but mostly in the southwest. There have been protests everywhere because of naira scarcity, because people had money, but people could not get their money. People could not go to work. People could not feed. There were people stripping themselves naked in the bank.
Oh.
There were people fainting, falling down, old men in the bank. And there's an election coming. So if people don't go out to vote, if people lose motivation, if people lose, and now I think people are going to vote in a different way, because a lot of people won't want to vote for APC. A lot of people won't want to vote for the current party in power because of what is happening. A lot of people, and I don't know what games the politicians are playing. It's so complicated, because I know there is a ulterior motive for changing the money. I know they have, everything they do is not for the masses. So I know definitely that they have a plan, but it's so complicated that I just can't figure it out. But I know there's something going on. There's something fishy. There's something going on. So it's just the reasons why people won't go out to vote is that, first of all, safety. People don't seem safe. People don't feel safe to go and vote, because there have been history of political violence, political thuggery. There are people that during political elections like this, they have access to guns and they commit menace in the society. So
thank you very much. Thank you very much,
right.
Mr. Yogi. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
that
sir.
brief. Now, Mr. Manzi. Or if you are not ready, Manzi, I go to Ego. Then after Ego, I'll go to Alex.
Thank you, my brother, and good morning from my end. And thank you, our co-host, and everyone on the call. Okay, can you hear me now? I greet you, Matanga, and the co-host that we have. Good morning from my end.
Thank you very much.
I want to speak but partially on the topic, because when we talk about voting in Nigeria, it seems as if voting is the only democratic process or democratic right that the people have. There are other democratic processes that can be employed to stop all the menace that the contraption called Nigeria has put every citizen of that country. You know, when some people speak, I find it difficult to understand if that person really suck his mother's breast very well. When you see a situation, and that is the problem of Africa today, Africa will see a situation that this situation is not working, and this particular thing is actually taking lives of people. And you have another means to avert this particular thing that is eating life of people, this particular thing that have been consuming lives, this particular thing that every year you complain, every 4 years you complain. Each leader that you have chosen, the same way that you are saying now that you want to choose another person that will speak for the people, that will work for the people, the same way you have been doing it over the years. And it has never worked. Because the system itself is not structured to favor anybody. The system itself was lie on its own. And the people that is producing, every tree is known by its product, which is its fruit. Mango cannot wake up in the morning, you cannot see mango in any season, and the mango will start bringing out orange seeds. That is what Nigeria is. Nigeria has been built up to fail. And the fruit is what you're seeing today from the leaders, from the so-called leaders. That you come up every year, you say you're going to vote, you're going to do this one, you will rise up in mass to vote them out. You're still recycling the same people. I don't see anything called APC, PDP, APGA, or whatever name you call it, coronation name you give it. They're all the same, one and the same, working for same purpose. And we that are agitating for freedom, let me put it in that perspective for a better understanding of some persons here. We that are agitating for freedom, that we don't want to keep on recycling these failures, that we want in a situation where we have right, that if we are elected as a leader, as a president, as a governor, as anything in the government sector, and we see that in the first month, 2 months that you're not working, you'll be impeached, removed immediately. Britain changed prime minister more than how many times this year? Because we are looking for somebody that is competent. And if you go there and you see that you're not competent, that you cannot handle the pressure that is coming, you give up on your own, but not in Africa. It's only in Africa that we see somebody that has been on seat for more than 48 years. And people are still voting him because they pay them money. They rule them with tyranny. And nobody's talking about it. And this situation of Nigeria has come to our neck that we say, if tat come to tat, that will hold a bull by the horn, it doesn't matter what will happen. It has happened before. And we are ready to take it up again. And we are doing the needful. That this Nigeria will be disintegrated this year. It will not pass this year. And this particular election that you're debating there is never going to hold in the part of the old eastern region, which is Biafra side. It's not going to hold there. It can hold in the north. We don't have any problem with that. It can hold in the which is Oduduwa land. We don't have any problem with that if they allow it. It's a democratic process. But we, the Biafrans, have said, for us to participate in this Nigeria again, is either we are giving a referendum, and if they cannot give us a referendum, it's also our right to boycott, to stop everything called election. It's also a democratic process. To stop election is our right to do so. And we are going to do it. And we are doing it by tomorrow. It's tomorrow we are talking about, not next year. So anybody coming here to debate anything, to talk trash about death of Biafra, and Biafra is older than Britain itself. You don't have your Wikipedia, because most of the information that you're dishing out here, you got it from the Wikipedia. You were not born during that time. But the same Wikipedia told you in the old map of Africa that Biafra had existed for over 4,000 years before amalgamation of 1914. And the same thing that the white man come and amalgamated and give you, that is what you're killing yourself in. That is what you want to keep on recycling. That you want every one of us to die here in Nigeria because you want to keep it one. We are saying that enough is enough, and it's all going to end. We are not here to banter words with you or to exchange anything. Tomorrow you come, you will see how it will happen. And after tomorrow, as the days unfold, you will see what will be happening. Biafra have come to stay. We are declaring Biafra. Biafra has been here older than most of the countries in the world. It's there in the map. You can go and educate yourself. So we are not here to exchange words with you or to talk about your voting. We are not stopping you from voting, but we are going to stop you in Biafra territory. That is what we are saying. So thank you, my brother Matanga, for giving me the privilege to speak on your platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your contribution there. I think the next person was Goodman. Go ahead.
Good morning, beautiful people.
It wasn't a good man. Sorry, Miriam, I was on another call. It was Alex. No, Manzi, then Alex, then Goodman.
It's my turn now. Yeah, this is Alex who speak. It's my turn now to speak.
Okay, you can speak now.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Don Thomas Zaga. Good morning from here. Good morning to the host.
Tell us where you are this morning.
Yeah, I'm from France, Paris.
Paris, thank you. How is Paris?
Paris is fine. It's cold here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm from Delta State, Urobo. I am in support of this Biafra agitation because I don't believe in Nigeria any longer, because Nigeria is a dream killer. Just imagine in a country that calls itself a country, the vice president running to be a president of the country, bringing out a fake news for the public, and people out there celebrating it. Yesterday, there was a news that broke out in the internet space that Simon Ekpa was arrested. And could you imagine, up till now, the vice president of Labour Party, presidential candidate, still promoting that Simon Ekpa is under arrest. Meanwhile, Simon Ekpa made a live video. I was even there with him. He went again and tweeted that Simon Ekpa is still under arrest, that the video is pre-recorded video. And those are the people Nigeria putting on their hope on, that this will be our next president. So for me, more than 80 million Biafra have decided not to participate in this selection called election, because Nigeria has never practiced anything called election. What they do, they gather people together just to show to the world they are doing election. At the end, they select who they want them, who they can make use of. That's what Nigeria have practiced over the years. And at the end, the Nigeria people will be the one suffering it. Now, for the Naira issue happening in Nigeria, this is supposed to be a national shutdown, not only in Biafra land, the whole of Nigeria, because there's no way you as an individual, as a human being, going to validate a country that don't care about your human rights, that don't even care. They never sponsor you, they never support you. In France, here we have what we call, if you don't go to work, we have what we call government support. If you are handicapé, whatsoever you are, you have a support from the government. Nigeria has never supported any individual. Now your own hand money you work for, the government locked it up. They grabbed the money, they never swapped any money. The money was grabbed just to look how foolish Nigeria are. And to my greatest surprise, a lot of people still used their own money left to campaign for any presidential candidate of Nigeria. That is to say, the government know that nobody in Nigeria can do them anything. And if Nigeria will continue, by tomorrow we validate this election, that is to say, it's finished for the whole of the people in Nigeria. Because any moment from now, Nigeria can become Islamic State, and you don't have any freedom. So that is why I'm fully in support of Biafra, that this election will not hold in Biafra land, and Biafra will take over their territory. So anybody that wants to validate this election should know that him or her or family is putting themselves in doom. And anyone going out on tomorrow should sign his will, because it might never come back. Because if numbers of armory going out
to validate this election, the army, the rest. It's not an election, it's like a war. I'm here in France. We conducted the election a few last year. There was no single army parading just the way Nigeria roll out army as if they want to assist Ukraine in fighting Russia. Just imagine millions
400,000 soldiers, 400,000
millions of soldiers rolling out. I'm asking, is this one election or they are going for a national war or they're going for peacekeeping? I don't really understand. Because you cannot tell me people want to validate their rights with lots of what are those military doing in different places, rolling out? Where are they going to? It's an election, it's not a democratic process. Or are we in military regime? So Nigeria have to go indoor, ask themselves some questions. Are we really doing the right thing? The answer is no. But a lot of people believe that individual can solve Nigeria problem. And in Nigeria history, ever since I was born, there's always a saying that any past president, past governor, past administration is always better than the present one. And after that, they will still be rushing to put a new person. And any president or governor in any office, once they get there, they always find it they always find it quick to run out of office. As I'm talking to you now, the president of Nigeria, the alleged president of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari, cannot wait for a tenure to get over because he's sick and tired of the country. He said he just want to run far away to a place that nobody will give him problem anymore. But people are still supporting their own candidate to go there. When someone already there crying bitterly, fast forwarding the date, the time, the year for a tenure to get over so he can get out of there. So my question to Nigerians, why people don't sit down in one place and ask yourself, why is it that anybody that gets to this office, what is the good Lord Jonathan said, if we never ever campaign to be a Nigeria president, never in his life. So why don't Nigeria, those shouting obedience and all that, don't ask themselves, why is that anybody that gets to that presidential office always have one or two issues over there? They don't really know the problem of Nigeria, but you are supporting an individual to go there. And when they get there, they're always in haste to run out of that office. So what we need in this country now is a referendum, restructuring of the country so that people can have their own say. Because no Nigeria have say in that country. In a country where military or police will just come and slap you and point a gun at you and say, I will kill you, nothing will happen. And truly, it will kill you, nothing will happen. Just imagine NSAS, for example. Nigeria came out with flag, not with weapon, nothing, that we don't want the way police are brutalizing us. And they will change that with brutality. And Nigeria went home and sleep. Failure of NSAS, now they are shouting obedience. Imagine you that came out that I don't want this thing. The same thing you are commonly for that you don't want, they use it to chase you out of the street. And you went back home and things were going up normal. Now your own currency you labored for, Nigeria never help you in anything. They hold it, telling you that they want to print currency. In France here, I woke up when I went to the supermarket, they gave me 100 euro. I've never seen, but I asked the supermarket, what is this one? He said the new currency. So we don't know where they used to change money in Europe here. We sleep, we wake up and we go out and we see new currency. But Nigeria said they want to change currency. They ask you first to bring you back your old currency. I don't understand. And right now, some people are using money to buy money in Nigeria, not dollar, not euro. And people are still happy. Say they want to go to vote for the presidential candidate of their choice. Where a city president tell you something that no individual can fix the problem we have in Nigeria. And come to the Biafran, people are saying that people are this more angrier than other people. Why will Biafran people not be angry? Their leader that said no election in Biafran land was freed by a competent court. They set him free. Up till now, nobody's talking about it. Now a court that frees someone, they said they know obedience will say they know they will have to go to court. Do you think that court will give you what you demand? So for me, if they don't free Mazina the Kano, there will not be peace in Biafra land. So that's what I have to say for now. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, co-host. Take it from there. Choose the next speaker, please.
I think the next speaker is Mazi, and then he'll be followed by Goodman. Manzi, go ahead.
All right, good day, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Matanga, and thank you, the co-host. I wanted to ask a question to the guy, Republic of Igbo Land, or Waterlibo, because I believe maybe he is an Igbo guy. He should know better. Last year, there was something that happened at Ihamufu in Enugu State. That over 50 people were killed in their ancestral home by Fulani herdsmen. I went to this Republic Twitter timeline. I couldn't find any post condemning that massacre or the killing by some policemen in Igbo land. In Anambra, to be precise, Okozo SARS has been killing and adopting our people, harvesting their organs and selling them. I've also went to this Republic space to see any post condemning such actions and inactions of our security operatives who are supposed to protect the people. So my question to him now is, who is really hurting Ali Igbo? Does he have any evidence or proof, tangible proof, that IPOB or Biafran agitators are the one hurting Ali Igbo? Or is it just a hearsay or just an accusation? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Manzi. Let's move. We are now doing very well, and the message is coming out clear. Welcome all of you, Tete. Welcome to this show. All of those who always follow me, who come whenever they see, thank you, all of you. Let's now, Benjamin, you say every African has a Biafra. Yeah, it is true. Every African, when the elections come, it has a Biafra. You are right. You have a point there, my brother. Every place you go to. Okay, let's bring in. Is it Alex? You have spoken. And
yes. I can take questions. There's question I can take.
Goodman was to come next.
Yes, Goodman. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Masanga. You are one of the few Pan-Africanists that are really depth in your knowledge about issues of Africa. And I like the fact that you are all out for the betterment of Africa. And you are interested in the truth, not just being shallow, because most of the Pan-Africanists I have come across are very shallow in their submissions about Africa. For you going forward to make sure you get to the root of what is going on, that's to tell you how much you are hungry for the goodwill of Africa, for the good of Africa. Thank you very much. I respect you a lot. I respect you. I love you from the depth of my heart. I'm telling you the truth, like nothing but the truth. That is why most times I don't listen to people much, because I see that they don't want to go depth. They just want to run with what they cannot really factually print upon. So the truth is, we don't have elections. There is nothing called election in Nigeria. Nigeria elections are just ceremonies. To print it to the observers, to those who are willing to look at their direction. Just to make it's just a ceremony. They have their candidate already. The elections have been concluded long before the ceremony. That is why they will make sure they buy you to come. Just come and be on the line. Let it just be that there is a voting. A voting is going on. It is not something people do out of their free will. The only people you see going there to die are the ignorant ones. The ignorant ones that Nigeria has so much destroyed their capacity to reason. So they can no longer reason for themselves. They just follow the crowd. They just follow anything they are told, because Nigeria removed history from them. So they thought they have a country, and they are thinking they are trying to exercise their civil rights, because they have been deprived of the knowledge of who they are. So they go there to stand in the line, and most times they are being killed. We are telling you that Nigeria election is a scam. When you see the United all these Western nations telling you that they are coming to supervise the election, they are going to make sure it is free and fair, have they not been supervising elections? Have they not been supervising their colonial construct, do their ceremony? Has it always been free and fair? But the Nigerians themselves cannot ask themselves this question, because the country has removed everything human from their brains. They can no longer reason. That is why their money will be taken from them. Most people are laborers. You see vibrant young men, they carry block. They do all kind of menial job just to survive. And the little they have managed to gather, the government asks them to return it to the bank for the new one. They return it to the bank. They cannot even get the new one, neither to get the ones they return back. And these are the same people, if they are not mentally dead, they will not still be talking about election. These same people are still talking about election. So how do you come to clarify, to justify such a system? What we are telling you people here is that Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is just a Western jamboree, colonial construct. Their apparatus is what they are all interested in. If you hear any Western and talking about Nigeria election, look at them very well. They don't love Nigeria. They are not interested in Nigeria. All they are interested is to maintain this apparatus, because they are the one enjoying what is in Nigeria more than the Nigerians themselves. And the Nigerians themselves don't even know where they are. Somebody will come here and start comparing Nigeria. Nigeria's problem is similar with other countries. No country that does not have problem. When you listen to this kind of people talking, you begin to wonder, where is this kind of person coming from? It is just like a blind person trying to tell you how beautiful you are. Is that possible? A blind person describing your beauty. You know nothing about where you are. What is happening to you, you cannot say anything about it. The government have muzzled you. You protest that the killings is too much. They use gun and kill you again. It happened in Lekito Gate. After some days, it has died all over the world. Nobody's talking about it again. So, talking about election, voter apathy. Voter apathy has been going on in Nigeria. The few that understands that they are going to waste their time have not been going out to vote. That is why Dr. Masanga told you the other day, in the other platform, that he went to supervise election in Nigeria. There were observers there, and they saw that out of 80%, maybe like 30% will come and vote. Is that an election? Is that already not telling you that the people are not interested in the system? Those who are able to reason don't go out to vote, because most time people die there. Dogs come to kill. And also there is discrimination whenever the election is on. The selection, I call it selection. Every reasonable person knows that there is no election, but ignorant people still go there and they are still discriminated against. In Lagos, Igbos were not allowed to vote. Even presently, most of them are not allowed to even access PVCs. So everything is so. Let me rest for now. Maybe I'll be allowed to speak again later. Let me pause for now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Goodman, for those compliments. I thank you very much. I'll continue even having more and more of these platforms. By the way, I hold platforms not only on Nigeria, I hold platforms on Libya, on DRC Congo, on Zimbabwe, on West, all states. I think I have been holding and speaking frankly of what takes place in our African continent. Therefore, don't be upset. We are not targeting to speak about Nigeria. We are going to speak about, we speak all the time about every state. And this election is very important in the case that if you have 93 million, it's the highest in Africa so far. There's no other country that registers 93 million voters. Show me one. Show me one. No country in Africa has a population of 220 million. Show me one. So it is a country that we must talk about, that we must adhere to the principles of what they stand for, and see whether a good election anything will come out. But from the speakers now themselves on the platform, everybody is saying there is no good election here. There's no election here. It could be called a different name, but because this is their time and our children are on the platform also listening, we can't call it a bad name. Let's teach also good manners so that we don't preach violence on these platforms. Thank you very much. Now I come to the next set of my speakers. If you have spoken and you want to give chance for another one, you come down, then you can raise your hand. I will bring you up in the summary. I have so many people waiting to speak, and I want to give them a chance.
Bring me down. I may come up later. Just bring me down for now.
Who is this one?
Good man. I said, bring me down, sir. I may come up later. Just bring me down for now.
Okay, you have been brought up, down, and I've brought Mr. O.
You can still bring me down. I'll be on the listening session.
It's very complicated, Mr. Oruwa Ba. I will just say that because the other time I crammed the name, but it has disappeared. Okay, Zokas. Mr. Zokas, what do you say? Oh, there is justice. Before Zokas, justice, fairness. Take the microphone, then Zokas next. Then we have Mr. Oruba next. In that order, then we come and bring another set of speakers. What are the factors? Any factor in your place, wherever you be, whether you are in the diaspora. Are you in the diaspora? Do people in the diaspora vote in Nigeria? Elections. These are the things I want us to talk about. You spend a lot of money. You send a lot of money home. Most of you work hard in Europe. Most of you work hard in America. You spend a lot of money and you send it home. But you have a right to vote. Does the diaspora Nigeria vote? Are there polling stations in London, in Washington, in South Africa, Nairobi, in all places, key capital cities of the world, where Nigerians or people from that country can go and vote? If you have seen any of them, tell us here on the platform. Yet you make a great contribution to the GDP of this state called Nigeria. Your money that you work hard in Europe, in London, in Moscow, in China, in Saudi Arabia, working odd jobs, is what builds Nigeria. But you have a say. Do you vote? That's and then if you vote, what are the factors that are going? We have already talked about insecurity in the north, banditry, kidnaps, corruption, scarcity of money. A gentleman here has just told us he's not able. Yogis is in Nigeria, down in Nigeria. He says he's not even able to go out. If you go to the cash till, you are only allowed to draw in the bank 5,000 to 10,000 naira. What about if you have a bigger family and a bigger demands? What do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk. If we don't talk, we might fight. If we keep quiet, a conflict will come. So let's keep on talking. Justice, fairness. Platform is yours. Pick the mic, sir. Mr. Justice, fairness, the microphone is yours. Justice, fairness 1. Justice, fairness 2. Justice, fairness 3. You lose the chance. Zokas. Mr. Zokas, pick the mic. Miriam. Miriam. Are we on the same platform? Miriam, are you on the platform, the co-host?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Zokas, you are not talking. Mr. Yongi, your hand is up. Then Oruba. Yongi, your hand is up.
Thank you very much,
Take
sir.
away.
Thank you very much, sir. So I've been listening to the previous speakers, and I just have a point to chip in because I really wanted to talk about the elections because that's the topic. So I didn't know we could diverse a little bit into also our personal opinions, you know, about the country. It is evident that the way African countries are distributed, they are not distributed the way other countries of the world are distributed. Because first of all, if we look at Europe, we find out that the countries are distributed first via tribal lines. The countries are formed according to their tribe. That's why you find out that in Italy, most of the people there are Italians. They are ethnic Italians. In Germany, so is it in Asia. And it was like that in Africa for thousands of years. We were all distributed across our ethnic lines. We had empires according to our ethnicity, according to our tribes. So it made it easy for us to come together, to collaborate, to
We seem to have lost you.
I'm still here, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it was easier. It is easier to collaborate when you have the same history. But we found out that due to conquest, due to the downfall of Africa by conquest, we were distributed according to conquest. We were distributed exactly how we were conquered, not according to our religion, not according to our history, but according to the history and territorial gains of our oppressors. So in the Berlin Conference, they came together and made this agreement within themselves so that there will not be war among themselves. See, they were cooperative. And kudos to them. But first of all, Africans, we need to understand that if we want to liberate ourselves, it is not a matter of, because where the Biafrans are going, we don't need that kind of thing in Africa anymore. We need a situation where we educate ourselves, where we are conscious of our history. We don't need violence. We don't need agitations. We don't need protests. We don't need protests. We need to educate ourselves. We need to go home and re-educate ourselves from the home. Because if we depend on the school is going to give us Western education, which cannot liberate us. The university is one of the places in Africa just wasting the abilities of the youth, because the university don't create skilled graduates. Most African graduates are not skilled. That's why there's no job. Because if you are a skilled mechanical engineer, you won't need to look for a job as such. Because you can practice in your father's house if you get back from school. If you really know how to do this thing, people will bring it to you. Even because you are educated, they will prefer to give it to you. But because they are unskilled graduates, they have to look for jobs. Then the mechanical engineer is working in a bank. So it is not a matter of, we know we need to dissociate. We know that we need to go back to our ethnic distributions. We know, but it is not by fighting ourselves, by arguing, by blaming people. We are all in this together. We were all born into this. It is nobody's fault, but it's just that some people are weak. Nobody wants to be the Gaddafi. Nobody wants to be the Sankara. Nobody wants to be the Nkrumah anymore. Nobody wants to be the Fela or the Bob Marley. Everybody wants to play safe. So we can't keep blaming ourselves. Even our presidents cannot represent us as such, because the people are not conscious. If our presidents need to represent us, then CNN says something bad about him, or the Western media says something bad about him, then the people will also go with the Western media. Because when I was growing up, I never thought Mugabe was a good man. I never thought Gaddafi was a good man. It's just growing up, reading and researching. Then I realized that these were the real people that we needed to support. These were the real people that Africans were supposed to take bullets for. People that Africans were supposed to line up behind. But because our mind is not pan-African enough, our education is Western education. Our religion is Western religion. Our music, our dressing, so we need to heal our trauma. It is a trauma. Not loving self, not loving yourself, not loving your ancestors. That's where the problem is really coming from. But people don't see it from a spiritual point of view. If you want to look at Africa's problem from a spiritual point of view, I can explain it and expatiate. Because you look at other cultures, like China, for instance, they pay homage to their ancestors. The Arabs, they pay homage to their ancestors. We Africans, we talk down our ancestors. And that's a trauma. Because if you hate your parents, you cannot go anywhere in life. Any man that hates his father or his mother can never go anywhere in life. So if we don't pay homage to our ancestors, if we don't have public holidays, festivals and celebrations dedicated to them for different events in our own history, then how can we progress? So an average African man, when he thinks about his ancestor, is afraid, probably cannot sleep at night. Is traumatized. Imagine an Arab man thinking about Abraham or Moses and is scared. So that is the root of the problem. We need to come together and realize. It's not start throwing the blames or start attacking each other. That's not the way forward. The Europeans didn't need to attack each other. They came together in the Berlin Conference and made an agreement. So what we need in Africa is tribal allegiance. There's nothing like tribalism. We need, first of all, tribal allegiance and good tribal diplomacy. That's what we need. Good tribal
My brother,
allegiance.
how can we go back to our tribals? How tribal lines? How can we go back to it? Thank you.
Okay, how can we go back to our? We know our tribes. We don't have to go back to it. You are already your tribe. Are we away from it? One of the things we need to do, if we really want to be healed, is not about going back to our tribal lines. We need to heal the traumas of slavery, the traumas of colonialism, because we still see the white people as God. We need to heal. It's a spiritual thing. We need to heal. We need to see our ancestors from another light. We need to go and reinvent ourselves. A renaissance. The same arts, the same sculptures of our ancestors that terrify us today, they are in the museums in Europe. But when an average Christian see a statue that is dark, he will be shouting, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. But they pray to a white Mary, and it's a statue.
Okay.
It's a trauma.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
sir.
Yongi.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We have very little time left.
All right,
we
sir.
have less than 40 minutes to close down. So whoever comes in to speak, please make your point. Make your point. And the speaker is still, the host is here. Mr. Ekimi, you come on the platform to criticize. Yet I am here, I'm talking. And I have a co-host. I have two co-hosts. If I'm sleeping, then the other co-host will take up the microphone. Now, Mr. Zokas, are you ready? If you are not ready, then I bring in Alex. Your final comment on a voter apathy before you leave for another function. Alex. Okay.
Zokas, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, the children are awake, so I have to run out of the parlor and came to come in, please. Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your time. Yeah, for those that, what we need now, my final submission is to say no to this election that's coming up tomorrow. All Nigeria have to come together and say no to this election because we have been doing election for over the years. We have no profit. Nigeria is a country that's already divided. There's nothing on this planet Earth that can unite Nigeria. That is why anywhere you go, they say we are one Nigeria, we are one Nigeria. Nigeria is the only people that only use that word, one Nigeria. I've never been to any place in France and hearing we are one France, we are one France. So Nigeria have to end this thing. We need a referendum in Nigeria, not election. Election cannot solve any problem in Nigeria because we don't do election. We do selection. They already know the winner of the tomorrow election. So there's no need of you validating that kind of institution because they don't believe in the masses. Just imagine the PVC, sensitive material that they say is going to use to pull out those cabals have been picked up, more than millions picked up by hunters in Anambra in any way in Biafra land. How come the PVC find their way into the bush, into the forest? They are not animals. So how come a hunter go to hunt animal and return with millions of PVC? Now the most sensitive material in this election have been in the hands of people that's not guided with what we call sensitive. So there's no way on earth that PVC can give you what you want. The only thing that Nigeria cannot ring is referendum. Because when we talk about election, Late Yaradua said, the election that brought him this far is what's it called? It's a 419 election that is going to change it. That is not an election that is going to work on it. But to greater surprise, the man did not make it to change what he said he want to change. And even Obasanjo said to INEC that he knows the game better than they do. That is, he mastered the game. What are they playing? Elections not supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be a democratic process where we will decide who to rule us, who to lead us, who to take us to what they call the promised land, because Nigeria don't have any promised land. And there's something people that are supporting Peter Obi always say, let's take back our country. I don't know if someone can answer me, who took the country from Nigeria before in the first place? We are already granted independence long time ago. But whenever you hear this obedience, they say, go and take back your country. Obi always say, go and take back your country. Who took the country from us? I don't really get it. How come the country that belongs to us, we call ourselves Nigeria, we have the green passport over the years, we have the birth certificate, and we are still saying, let's take back the country? From who? We already been granted independence long time ago. But we're still fighting to take back the country that belongs to us. Who took the country from us? Nobody's answering that question. That's the motivation they have right now. Let's take back the country from who? The person ruling now is not a Ghanaian man, it's not a Zimbabwe man, it's a Nigerian man that's ruling us, for crying out loud. So why are we fighting to take it back from them? Anybody, if Nigeria is a united country, or anybody can go there and rule. We don't have to go and fight and take back from anybody that's ruling already. But the problem Nigeria have, let it come to my place. Let my person rule. That is why Nigeria cannot work. The only country that can work, if we don't have, let it come to my place, let it be my turn. Because Nigeria is saying it's my turn, it's my turn, it's my turn. I don't know if they are, I don't know if Nigeria is like a birth certificate or that they are sharing. Even in France, once you have their nationality, you don't have to say, let me take, what are you going to take back? So if Nigeria know, and they know, but I don't know if they are ignorance, because anything make you fight it back for what belongs to you. That is not for you, it's not your property. So what I have to say to Nigeria, don't go out and validate this election, because they already know the winner. They just want to gather people and just say in the name of election. So thank you very much, Dr. Mazag. I'm so much happy to speak with you, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother Alex. Let's hope we meet again on Monday and review the situation. Oruba. Ndugu Oruba. Orubabo. Oruba. Yomomba. Thank you very much. Again, your name is very complicated to pronounce.
Hey, good day. Good day, everybody. Good day, doctor. I'm Oluwabayo Omoba. That's the name. That's the name. Hello, sorry, are you getting me? Doctor,
yes,
okay.
Go ahead. The microphone is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for the space. And it's about Nigeria election that is about to take place in less than 24 hours. The only thing now I have a privilege to say is that we need a unifier in Nigeria. We need somebody that will be that will grant fairness and equity and justice. That is who we need in Nigeria. We've not been able to have a credible leader that will lead us as a nation, not to lead us as maybe as a regional, maybe where you come from. We need somebody to stand as to be a Nigerian to lead us. And issue of this vote, and maybe they are saying, okay, they've already know who to win or anything. We need to exercise our franchise. Just for instance, now the way we are more than 200 million people, and we have only 90 million to vote a leader. No more than half of it. How can we be able to have a credible leader? Even for instance, okay, the 90 we have now, the 90 million that we have now, it's not all that will still come out and vote. If the 90 will come out and vote, even okay, if the remaining are not coming out, the 90 will come out and vote, there is no way for anybody to manipulate. But when other doesn't come out and vote,
It will not be credible. And all these the way we are in Africa, we don't have institution that stand for us. As a citizen, we don't have institution that can stand for us. If you have institution that can stand for us, we'll get somewhere in Africa. The only thing we need to believe. Every dream of a common man is hope. If we don't have that, then what do we? The thing is that I know we don't have much time, and we have a lot of speakers. The only thing I need to say with my Nigerian people is that I will not lie to you. I may not. Somebody has seen it. We've killed our history. We can start from education level. When the education level, when education level, you put in history. Let them know the history of their fatherland. Let them know how Nigeria come to be even before the Western world. So the only thing is that we hope, I will not like to use that, we hope for a credible election, and we hope for violent free. The only thing is that if we come out and vote, no matter how it is, there must be agitation. There are agitation from even the south, there are agitation from even the west. There are agitation, even the Boko Haram agitation. If the citizens are not getting what they need to get, that is where agitation comes from. More fire will come from agitation when the citizen doesn't benefit anything. If I'm in the Western world, I will benefit a lot what I'm benefiting as a Nigerian, sitting in Nigeria, working in Nigeria, and having family in Nigeria. So the only thing is, doctor, let me not take much of our time. We'll talk somewhere from another space, but let other speakers speak as well. The only thing is that we need somebody to bring Africa even together, not only Nigeria. And we can start from Nigeria because it's among the most populated country. It is among the famous in Africa, sorry to say. So we need to start from here. All eyes on Africa now. All eyes on Nigeria tomorrow because of this election. The thing is that I just pray and I hope, let God give us a credible leader that will love us. If you don't have leaders that will love us, there is no how we can get what we want. Thank you very much, and let me yield the mic from now. And God bless Nigeria, and God bless Africa. One Africa, one Nigeria. Amen. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that submission. Who'd like to give their final submission again? You could just raise your hand. Justice, go ahead.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Masanga. Actually, I was busy when you were calling me initially. Thank you for this space. The thing is that when I hear some Africans speak, it's so. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Just go ahead.
Yeah. So having an election in Nigeria is a disease of highest level. That's the worst thing a black man can do to himself, agreeing that there should be election in Nigeria this time. This voter apathy or election should not even exist. We should come as a people and decide our future. Do we want this Nigeria or we don't want? That's all Nigeria needs. This election is a sham. And it's a more sham when I hear the West, mostly America and Europe, coming to help Nigeria sign a peace accord in election. Is that not a vote for African people to ask themselves, are you at war? While I was a growing boy, when peace accord is signed, it's when two countries or two factions are fighting. And then you make peace between them, and then they sign a peace accord. But now we are going for election in Nigeria, and the candidates are signing peace accord. And the Europeans are sitting there to help them to sign the peace accord. The Americans are helping them to sign a peace accord as if there's a war. Why can't Africa ask themselves a question?
Why are these people coming to observe our election? How many of our leaders go to observe the election in Europe and America? Are we not ashamed of ourselves as a people? That's why we're always at the bottom of the ladder. I live in America. As I speak now, I speak from the city of Las Vegas. And I hear Secretary of State of America making an advert telling Nigeria to go for a free and fair election.